Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome back to Tasty Bites Timeless Travels. Today is day 105 of our Holland America cruising around the world. Today we're coming at you from Piraeus, Greece, the port city for Athens. Come join us. Now, Piraeus is the port city. It's been the port city for Athens for centuries, and it is still the port city for this area today. It's a massive cruise terminal. Today is an embarkation debarkation point. At this point, everyone who was getting off for debarkation has been called off the ship because it is a holiday in Athens. It is a Good Saturday, Black Saturday, I don't know. It's the Saturday before Easter, so they wanted everybody off early because of traffic. Today, we have the hop-on, hop-off bus. I had pre-booked it way back when the dollar and the euro were about the same, so it was only about $20 American a piece, so $40 for the day. We're doing city sightseeing. I don't know if we're going to do it all day, depending on the traffic and how we feel and things like that, but that's what we have planned to take us into Athens and see some sights. I don't think we're going to go in anything, though, but let's wait and see where the day takes us. This part of the trip, we really are kind of riding the public systems and the hop-on, hop-off buses and just seeing what we see. So, oh gosh, that sun's right by me. So, let's get today going. Let's go. All right, so, checked in for our hop-on, hop-off bus. We are using city sightseeing for this one. Reason being, there's 3 hop-on, hop-off bus companies out here in Athens, Piraeus area. Piraeus is a separate line. It typically doesn't start till 11 o'clock when you read the literature on everybody's website, but there's 2 cruise ships in port today, so everybody started early, but the only one that I knew was going to start early was city sightseeing because they run a special cruise ship passenger rate that will start at 8:30 on cruise ship days and get you into the center of town. So the next bus leaves at 9:30. It's 9:17 now. So we're just gonna hop on at 9:30 and it'll take us directly to the first stop for the red line or the A5. And then we'll ride the route. And then A4 is where you get off to come back to Piraeus. And that bus leaves every hour. It's scheduled. So super easy for us to figure out today, so we're just going to keep going with this plan. It's kind of windy today, a little chilly, but I think we're still going to sit up top so I don't have any window glare because the city sightseeing is also covered on top. It's just open windows, so none of the problems that we had in Sydney with the tree branches and stuff coming at us. So should be a fun day. We have some friends that saw us sitting here asking what we were doing, and we said, oh, we just pre-purchased the hop-on, hop-off bus. It was 25 euros. I actually got it cheaper because I purchased it online ahead of time, but I didn't want to tell them that. And they were talking with a cab driver about a tour, and when they said, we're just going to do the bus because it's cheaper for all 3 of them to do the bus than to pay for that cab to drive them around, the cab driver goes, fine, you just sit in traffic and wait, and this, that, and the other, and drove off. He was so angry, but hey, it is what it is. I will also say that they told everyone that cabs were not going to be available, this, that, and the other, traffic's going to be bad, and we just got told the complete opposite about traffic, and there's plenty of cabs here. So some of the information the cruise ship is getting is wrong, but it happens. Better plan for worst case scenario than not, than end up in worst case scenario without a plan. So, hey, but about 10 minutes, so we should be boarding the bus pretty soon, and we're going to see what it's like in Athens. All right, so here we are. We are in Athens. We took the hop-on, hop-off. We connected and we rode around Athens. We got off at 2 stops before our connection back to Piraeus. Just because there's a straight street to the Acropolis, and then the bus stop that takes us back to Athens, or Piraeus, is on the other side. It's just like this really cool pedestrian street. It's really nice. Lots of shops and restaurants. There was a McDonald's. So we're gonna try to find some food and see the Acropolis and whatever else we're gonna get into. right, so we finished a very delicious lunch. It was kind of pricey, but it was still good. It was cheaper than the restaurant beside it. I don't know if like the museums and the Acropolis like closed for lunch or something, but the lines to get in them are massive. So we weren't planning on going in them anyway, but whew, long lines. But this is just a nice street to walk down. So that's what we're gonna do. And with this gorgeous sail away, we are going to say bye to Piraeus, the port city of Athens. All right, thoughts on the day. Hop on, hop off bus. Convenient getting out into Athens, not a problem. Convenient getting on the Athens line. They do something special in the morning to accommodate the cruise ships, and there was 5 cruise ships today, not just 3. There's 5. There's another terminal I couldn't see from around the corner. So very, very busy day for cruise ships, and then it's Saturday on top of it, Saturday before Easter, so super, super busy. I don't know if it was my favorite hop-on, hop-off bus experience. I'll be honest with you. First off, we sat in the inside because it was very windy today, including in the city of Athens itself, which it was kind of far from the coast. We were hoping it wouldn't be, but it wasn't. So we ended up being inside, so it puts a glare on the windows. And then always Murphy's Law. If you sit on the left, everything's going to be on the right. But City Sightseeing wraps their buses in like a window wrap, whatever, to help advertise. So it does obstruct the view, and it makes it incredibly hard to film. So we had that problem also. But if we would have sat up top, we would have been battling the wind. Now, as far as Athens is concerned, we got off at a stop that we walked that pedestrian street, and then it put us on the other side, and that's where the bus was heading. So basically we walked in front of the Acropolis Parthenon. Now, those are absolutely stunning to look at. Like, they're up on this hill. It's amazing to stare at. The street was very nice, had lots of shops, cafes, vendors. The restaurant we ate at was over there. It was fairly reasonable. The restaurant right next to it was very expensive, so I guess it was reasonable, but we still spent $50 for that lunch. But seeing as how we had 2 drinks, an appetizer, and 2 full-size meals, not a bad deal. Now, I will say this. I had always heard portions in Europe were smaller than in the States. That is an absolute lie. It's one of those... Oh, a little bit of wind. It's one of those that C and I could have split one thing had we agreed upon one thing to eat. But we were feeling kind of authentic, so C ate about half of hers. I ate about 2/3 of mine, but... or 3/4 of mine, but... that was a lot of food. Weather is beautiful. People were nice. No pushy vendors. Nothing. No one trying to hawk you on a city tour. In fact, we walked by one taxi area that was near the bus to get back to the port, and they just kind of looked at us and didn't really say anything, because I was prepared to pay for a cab to get us back to the port had we not been able to board that bus back, which takes me back to the hop-on, hop-off bus experience with 5 cruise ships in town, and that one was probably the most popular of the 3 bus tours that were available. They only had a bus coming back to the pier every hour. And our bus was a little late, but they left about 15 people standing there that did not have room for it, and they were going to have to wait on the 3 o'clock bus to get back into town. The 4 o'clock bus is going to be too late. So, at least for our all aboard time, everybody's is different today, but ours was 4:30 for this Holland cruise. So, we made sure we got on that one, but we had to sit on the upstairs on the way back and battle the wind, but we got on it. That's all that mattered to us. Also, something I've never seen with hop-on, hop-off bus, it got really busy the longer we were in Athens, and just our bus that we had connected with up from Piraeus. So we got about 2/3 through the route, and they had people standing, which I've never seen people stand on a hop-on, hop-off bus. I thought you always had to sit, but we made it about 2 more stops after that, and then that put us right on the other side of the Acropolis from the way we needed to connect. And I looked to see, and I said, let's just get off here, and we'll walk this street. And that's when we figured out there was a pedestrian street that would walk us. Athens was a very difficult time to figure out where everything was. Because none of the maps make sense to me, because when they come into Google Maps, they're in Greek. So even though my Google Maps is set to English, that's just how they're still labeled. A lot of the Olympic stadiums from when Greece had the Olympics back in 2004 or whatever year it was, that Summer Games, they're still standing, they're still in use, they're still beautiful. The lines to get into the Acropolis Museum and the Parthenon and stuff, insanely long. If you want to do that, take an excursion so you can skip the line. Other than that, it was still a nice day. I think if I were to ever come back to this port, I would either take the free shuttle to downtown Piraeus, because people really enjoyed it, or I would there's a public bus that runs into Athens and try to use the Athens public transportation to go to the Acropolis area. I don't know if there's any other temples or anything in Athens I would like to see. Now, there's stuff in the rest of Greece. I would love to do a Greek Isle cruise or something like that, but that's not on this cruise, so that's just how the cookie crumbles on that one. But still a beautiful day, still a beautiful stop, still totally worth it. So now let's go get some dinner. Right, appetizers have arrived. So you got the shrimp noodle salad as the buckwheat soba noodles. That looks really good. For me, I got the cheese dip, and it has guacamole. They've had a shortage of guacamole recently, so I'm glad to see it return. All right, this appetizer menu looks so good we had to get two. And she got the crostini for her second appetizer. Doesn't hers look pretty? Guess what? It looks so pretty, I got the same thing, but she's saying hers looks prettier. I kind of agree, since she got a prettier leaf than me. But it looks good. Let's dig in. All right, and for entrees today, she went with the beef tenderloin. Now, this menu did change from yesterday to today, so I'm not really sure what flavors she has going on other than beef and mushrooms and broccoli and carrots, but looks good. For me, I got lasagna. It is looking pretty good. Honestly, with the menu changes, I could have done a meal of appetizers. I could have had the two that I had and the lemon orzo soup, chicken orzo soup, and I think I would have been good. But I went with lasagna, so let's eat. And with that, we are going to call it a night here. Dinner was really good. We really enjoyed it. We ordered too much food just because, let me tell you, the appetizers looked so good. I could have gone for 4 apps and no main, and I probably should have done that just because our lunch was also so big. But great dinner. We were thinking about going to the headline show tonight, and then we decided not to. We're beat from the day. Plus, tomorrow there is a time change, so we do start going back again to hit East Coast time. But tomorrow's Easter, and they're doing a special sunrise service for Easter, and then they're also going to do a scavenger hunt. So it's a busy day of C-Day activities tomorrow. So we said, went to the casino for a little bit, had a little bit of fun, didn't lose any money, which is even better. And said, you know what, let's just go ahead and call it a night. The hop on, hop off bus, whenever you have anything where you have to change, I've noticed we get really, really tired because you get stuck at an intersection somewhere waiting on a new bus, and that's what happened to us when we were trying to come back from Athens. We stood at that bus stop for 30 minutes waiting for the bus to arrive, and then there was like a little fright we weren't going to make it on because it was so popular. We picked the most popular of the 3 options, I've decided, because the people that were on the gray line, which it got terrible reviews, that's why I didn't pick them, which was the blue bus, they were never crowded, but the city sightseeing was definitely the most crowded. The big bus was probably right after that. I never saw their line to go back to the port, but it was busy. It was popular. It was a very popular option with a lot of the cruisers. I haven't talked to anyone who did anything. I talked to one couple that decided to take public transportation into Athens, and they said while it was cheap, it was a multiple step process, so they weren't sure if they would have done it again. But they didn't leave directly from the port for whatever crazy reason. They took the Holland shuttle out to the middle of Piraeus and then caught a bus from there, not thinking or realizing they could have just caught the bus directly from the port area. There's a bus stop somewhere around this port area. So You know, those are always options. You have to remember when you hit Europe, they have really good public transportation systems, and sometimes it's just better to go with those. So, yeah, so calling it a night, early night, busy day tomorrow, and then after that we have 6 stops in a row, I do believe. 6 port days, 7 port days, something like that, and then a sea day, and then a few more port days. Yep, it's a very busy schedule coming up, so an early night's not going to hurt us. So, make sure you hit that notification button, like, subscribe, and all that fun social stuff to keep following us along as we continue to make our way around the world. The very last leg, last embarkation, debarkation. That was the other reason we didn't do the nighttime show. It was another Captain's Welcome. He talks a lot. Keep following us along on this very last leg. Just a few more, like less than 3 weeks left of the Holland America Grand Voyage. Have a great night. Bye.